guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sam if you are new, and if you are a returning subscriber, hey guys, welcome back. If you are not yet subscribed, hit that subscribe button down below. Be part of the family here at the Southern Rustic. I'd love to have you. So in today's video, we're going to be making 3 different recipes. We're going to be doing a 15 bean soup, a side of cornbread, and for dessert, we are going to be making a crock pot strawberry dump cake. Absolutely delicious. I've got everything going. We are almost ready for dinner, so I'm going to take you back in time and show you exactly everything you're going to need and how to put it together. Let's go. Okay guys, so I've got all of my ingredients set out for all 3 recipes. I've got my strawberry crock pot dump cake over here, my beans, and my cornbread. So we're going to start over here. For the strawberry dump cake, you're going to need a box of strawberry cake mix, some strawberry pie filling, a little bit of oil just to coat the pan so it doesn't stick too bad, and some melted butter. And that's all for that. For the beans, we're going to be making 15 bean soup. So I've got a little package of 15 bean mix here. I've got an onion that I've just halved and quartered, and some ham. Now I don't season my beans when I put them in the pan. I season them later, so when we get to that point I'll show you everything that you're going to need for that. For the cornbread, this is everything that you're going to need. I've got in my bowl here some cornmeal, flour, baking powder and baking soda, and a little bit of salt. I've got some buttermilk, honey, eggs, and some coconut oil. So we're going to start off with the cake first, then we're going to move on to the beans, and then we'll do the cornbread. We can let that cool while these finish up because these 2 take the longest. So let me get you set up and we'll get started. Okay guys, so starting out, we are going to be doing the strawberry crock pot dump cake, and I've gone ahead and just sprayed my crock pot with some oil. And now all we're going to do is just add in our strawberry pie filling right in there. You can use whatever pie filling is your favorite. You can do blueberry. That would be really good. I think I might do that one day just to switch it up a bit. Okay, I'm going to set these cans out of the way, and we're just going to spread this out evenly on the bottom of the crock pot as best as you can get it. My hands are clean. I just washed them. So I'm going to get all of this strawberry pie filling off of my little spatula here. Give my hands another little rinse. And now I'm going to slide that back, and we're going to work on our topping. So I've got my cake mix here, if I can get it open. And it's just the strawberry, Pillsbury, Moist Supreme cake mix. Whatever strawberry cake mix you like is fine. This was the only one that I could find at the store, but it will do just fine because, I don't know, I like Pillsbury. I think they're a pretty good brand. Okay, now we're just going to add our butter to our mix. Get all of those little clumps of butter in there. We're starting to set back up. And now we're just going to mix this until it's crumbly. And we're going to sprinkle it on top of the strawberry pie filling. I think this would be really, really good with blueberry or cherry. I don't think they have any other kinds of berry mixes, like pie mixes, but I'm sure you could do like a triple batch of berry reduction and use that. I think that would be really good. Okay, now that we've got that all mixed together, set my little spoon here aside and pull this back up. And all I'm going to do is just sprinkle this right on top as evenly as I can possibly get it. You guys, I gotta tell y'all something. I got on the Monin website last night, and I was looking at their drink mixes, and I like their brand. They're pretty good. But y'all, I spent $80 on drink mixes for coffees and teas. Horrible, horrible. I have no idea what I was thinking, but my love for coffee got the better of me. It did. I don't know what I was thinking, but here we are. They'll be delivered in a few days. So I'm gonna have drink mixes for days. It is gonna take me forever to get through those drink mixes. But at least I can make like lemonades or something with them this summer. That would be really good, because we've got some plans to go to the lake here in the coming weeks, so I will probably get some footage of that for you guys. Okay, so all of that is in there. We're good to go. I'm gonna pop the lid on. I'm gonna set this for 2 hours. You can do low for 4 hours, but I'm gonna do it on high because I don't have that much time today, so I'm just gonna put it on high. And then I'm just going to let it do its thing, and then we'll move on to making our beans. Okay guys, so I've got my oven preheating to 400 degrees for my cornbread. I've got my cast iron pot here. I've got it over medium heat. I want to get some flavor out of this ham and onion, so I'm going to add this in, and I'm going to cook this for a few minutes just to get some color developing on these. And then we will add in our beans and some broth, and it will be absolutely delicious when it gets done. So I'm going to go ahead and get some color on these, and then I'll meet you right back here and we'll add the beans. Okay guys, so I've got some nice color developing on the ham and the onions, and the onions have cooked down slightly. So I have gone ahead and drained my beans. I'm just going to add those in right into the pot here. Now my daughter loves 15 bean soup. She asks for it all the time. It's the only beans that she'll eat. Because, I don't know, I guess it's got a variety of all of them in there, but she loves 15 bean soup. So I've got my beans in there. And I've got some chicken broth here. Now, I know chicken broth has salt in there, but I don't necessarily salt my beans at the beginning of the cooking process, because when I add salt to the beans, they don't cook properly. But if you want to add salt to the beans right now, you go right ahead. Not a problem. So I'm going to add some more water in here. I like to add just enough water where it covers the beans by about an inch or so, and that way when it cooks down it's perfect. But during the cooking process, when you're cooking beans, just keep an eye on the water level, because the beans will soak up that water, and just add more water as you need it, a little bit at a time, so that way, you know, when it gets done you're eating beans and not more liquid than beans. But some people like it that way. I know my dad did. But I like more beans than liquids. So I'm going to bring this up to a boil, and then I'm going to cut the heat down to low, pop the lid on, and then we're going to simmer this until it gets done. Basically, just give it a stir every once in a while, and add some more water or broth if you need it. You'll be good to go. So I'll let that get going and come up to boil, pop the lid on, and let that go. In the meantime, we'll make us some cornbread. Okay guys, so I've got all of my ingredients here for my cornbread, and we're just going to go ahead and mix this up. This is my cornmeal, my flour, my baking soda, baking powder, and a little bit of salt. And just mix this until it is very well combined, because you don't want any pockets of baking powder or baking soda. It's not something pleasant to bite down into. But I've got my oven preheating to 400 degrees. I've got my iron skillet in there. I've got a 10-inch because I want it to be a little bit more thicker. Some people like it a little bit more thin. So I've got my 10.5-inch in the oven. When I bring that out, all I'm going to do to that is just let that get hot. And then when I pull it out of the oven, I'm going to put 2 tablespoons of butter in there and let that melt. But in the meantime, this is going to sit and get nice and thick. So I've got my coconut oil here. Add that right in. You don't have to add coconut oil. I find I go back and forth between lard, Crisco, and coconut oil. I find that it gives just the best crust on the cornbread. I've got my eggs. And those are going right in. And this is just more or less like you just mix everything in the bowl. And I've got my buttermilk, and that is going in. You get that all out. It definitely likes to stick to the sides of the little cup here. And I've got my honey. And I forgot to spray my cup with oil. That's fine. We'll get it out. We'll get it all out. Now, if you don't want to do honey, you can do sugar. Just make it as sweet as you want. You can also leave it out if you don't want sweet cornbread. It's really up to you. So I'm just going to mix all of this together until it's very well combined. And I'm just going to let it sit and hang out for just a couple of minutes, just to let that cornmeal absorb some of that liquid and get kind of a little bit more, I don't know, moist, I guess. I know that's a bad word to say, but I don't know how else to describe it. It just absorbs the liquid and it's not as crumbly, unless you like crumbly cornbread. You make it how you like it. Your kitchen, your rules. So, I've got all of that mixed in. You don't want to mix it too much. Just make sure everything is off the bottom and mixed in with the rest of the ingredients. So I'm going to let this hang out for about 5 to 10 minutes or so while my pan is heating up. And then I'll meet you back here and we'll move on and put this in the skillet. Okay guys, so I just took my skillet out of the oven and it is super duper hot. So I'm going to go ahead and add in my butter right in there. Get that all nice and coated on the pan. And my cornbread batter is nice and thickened up. So we're just going to add that right to the pan. And this is going to help it get that nice dark crust on the cornbread. You can also do this on the stove if you prefer, if you don't want to pop it in the oven while the oven heats up. You can just do it on the stove. It works pretty much the same. So now I've got that all in there. Just going to spread it out just a tiny bit. Now back in the oven it goes until it gets nice and golden and cooked through. My beans are coming along nicely. Just make sure you keep an eye on them and add more water as you need it. Looking good. We're going to let those finish up. Keep an eye on them, and then I'll show you everything when it gets done. Okay guys, so I just took out the cornbread and it is done. It's nice and golden brown, but it's super, super hot. So I'm going to let it hang out here for a while and cool down, and then we'll take it out of the pan. In the meantime, my beans are cooking up so well. Now, a little tip for when you add water to your beans or broth, make sure it's hot or at least warm, so that way you don't stop the beans from cooking when you add cold water. So I'm going to let those cook for a little while, and we'll give them a test later, make sure they're done. Add some more water if we need it. And our cake is coming along nicely. It's got a little bit longer to go, so we're going to let that finish up, and I will see you back in just a few. Okay guys, so my beans are almost done. We are waiting on the beans and the cake. They should be done right about the same time. So now all we're going to do is add in our seasoning. I'm going to add a little bit of parsley. Now you can add whatever seasoning you want to this. This is just what we like. So I'm going to add a little bit of parsley, some garlic powder, and again, you can add as much or as little as you want. That is up to you. I'm going to add a little bit of some smoked paprika, just for a little bit of smokiness and color. A little bit of chili powder, not much of this at all, because I don't want it to have a chili taste. Maybe about a teaspoon. A tiny, tiny bit of cumin. Like I said, I don't want it to have that chili flavor. Just a hint of it. We're going to add some pepper. And we're going to add a little bit of salt. Give that a little stir. And we're going to let this finish cooking. It's got about maybe 20 minutes or so left to cook, and it will be done. And I will show you what everything looks like plated up. Alright guys, that is going to wrap up today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave. And I hope you give these recipes a try. You can find the link to my website down below in the description box, as well as pinned in the comments section. Also, you can find any links to any other recipes down there as well. So always check those. So yeah, we're going to go enjoy some delicious dinner and dessert. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.